I want to start with this next segment simply by showing a clip that we showed already. Siraj Hashmi saying, yeah, he's dead, on X. You want to pull this up? So this is a post from Siraj Hashmi when Kamala Harris was speaking at a campaign HQ and then said, I know you're still on the call, almost saying recording. Well, here we have this tweet from Tucker Carlson Network. Where is Joe Biden? Why haven't we seen him? Clearly something is going on. And this is Tucker with Jack Posobiec referencing Charlie Kirk. I'm going to play this clip for you guys. The story is Charlie Kirk said he got a weird lead that about a week ago, there's a medical emergency for Joe Biden and they were trying to rush him to the hospital. Here's what Tucker Carlson had to say.
This is from Charlie Kirk. I'm reading this cold. I got a weird lead on a story people ought to look into. I got a call from a source close to Las Vegas Metro Police. The official story was that Biden's trip was cut short last week due to COVID. However, according to this source, U.S. Secret Service informed Las Vegas Metro that there was an emergency situation involving Joe Biden and to close necessary streets so that POTUS could be transported immediately to University Medical, which they began to do in earnest. Then mysteriously, there was a stand-down order, and the Secret Service informed local Vegas PD that they were going to medevac POTUS to Johns Hopkins, which they presume meant fly him back east as soon as possible. Apparently, the rumor mill in the police department was that Joe Biden was dying or already dead, possibly. I didn't think too much about this lead. It seemed too wild to be true, but given that Joe Biden has been out of public sight for days and dropped out of the race via an X post, and his brother James indicated health was a factor, I'm beginning to grow more curious if COVID or something else has been more serious than reported. If anyone with Las Vegas Metro has information, please email freedom@charliekirk.com. I want to hear if there's more to the official story than what they're telling us.
Well, I'm sure Las Vegas Metro would be just as open as forthcoming as they were during the during the October shooting.
Yeah,
in
the
2017.
worst mass shooting in American history,
which is never spoken of again.
They tried to drive me out of a camera position while I was doing a story on it. Yeah, clearly there's something
known for being open and forthcoming.
Yeah, like the city itself.
So we have this also from Charlie Kirk. He says, update. I have received multiple emails like this one confirming many elements of the story. Many have confirmed that a call went out to block streets to get Biden to University Medical Trauma Center, ASAP Trauma Center. And then the plan abruptly changed and they got him out on Air Force One very quickly. I have not confirmed the IDs of these people, but there are an overwhelming number of stories corroborating essentially the same account that I felt comfortable sharing. I have people diving deeper into this now. He says, people have sent me a post from Emily Gooden, senior White House correspondent for the Daily Mail from July 17th. She documented that the flight time from Vegas to Dover was 3 hours and 48 minutes, extremely fast, and that Air Force One flew so fast the plane shook. This seems to confirm reports of how urgently Air Force One took off out of Vegas. The questions now are, did Joe Biden have a serious medical event in Vegas that has been covered up? Did that medical event contribute to his decision to pull out of the race? How precarious is Joe Biden's current health condition? I'm actually wondering if Joe Biden will make an appearance ever again. Is it possible that Joe Biden is completely incapacitated or dead, and so that's why they drop him out of the race via a message? Man, I think I can't even.
It wouldn't surprise me.
What you were saying about no more conspiracies, I feel like it's almost a death of all the old conspiracies, and now the new collection of unimaginable conspiracies. They're, in my opinion, holding a president hostage. You know, his death is hostage.
I mean, this man cannot speak, cannot move, cannot turn.
And they're willing to do anything.
But guys, this post that Charlie Kirk is referencing, this is the viral video where, let me turn this down a little bit, where Biden could not walk down the stairs.
Yep. Look at him walk into the car.
He looks dead.
This was widely in the press as
that's if you
tons of outlets said Biden struggles to walk down the stairs. Yo, I mean, I think it's him. I'm just saying, I think he was sick. I think they rushed him out and this was a week ago. So this is on the 17th. Something may have happened a few days later.
He could be around still, and they've been taking all this time to film whatever speech he's going to give from the Oval Office and pretend like it's live.
Dude, okay.
Or pumping with drugs.
He's 81. That doesn't matter. He's 81. Sensitive subject, I guess, but have you guys been with a loved one who is elderly as they've lay dying?
A few times.
Yeah.
You get to a point where you know they're going.
Mm-hmm.
They are alive. They are incapacitated, and they may just be completely out of it.
Yep.
They may be snoring. They may be on a ventilator. And the doctors are saying,
They're in and out.
Right. And Biden may be in this moment right now, still alive. Kamala Harris said, you're on the call. She was going to say recording. I don't think Joe Biden is
here, like mentally.
Well, I mean, we've said that about him for a while, that his brain is not working properly. But I'm saying right now, I think the likely scenario is that he's in a hospital bed, alive, but in and out, unable to function, or he's gone already.
Do you think there was even COVID?
No, I don't think there was COVID. I mean, part of it is Biden said himself, he was asked in that interview, like, what would make you leave the race? And he was like, well, if my doctors told me I had a medical condition that I didn't have before,
And how long after?
And like maybe something happened rapidly. I will say, just so it's like part of the discussion, you probably will see, left-leaning organizations or people refuting some of these claims. Like they'll say, well, if he had COVID, it's very serious. And so maybe they did need to rush him to the hospital, get him on a ventilator or fever. And like when he's walking downstairs, they'll be like, oh, well, COVID gives you muscle stiffness.
Joints,
so he's not okay. Like if they're standing by the COVID thing, it'll allow them to refute some of the claims or concerns that are out there about his well-being. And they had his White House doctor release that statement today being like, he's recovering thanks to Paxlovid. Shout out to you, pharmaceutical giants.
Yeah.
Lauren Boebert all day has been like, I would like a confirmation of a proof of life from the Biden house. I mean, it would be funny if it wasn't so urgent. I know Speaker of the House Mike Johnson has already asked that he resign. It's very unclear what's going on, but this is also par for the course for the Biden administration, right? Like they will argue over the most transparent White House because we released the White House visitor logs, but then we know that something is going on in Delaware. There's a reason he's back there every single weekend. We know that there is a lot that they pretend or ignore or don't talk about. That's why so many people who trusted them were surprised by his debate performance, whereas everyone else who doesn't believe the Biden administration was like, no, we knew this was coming. We knew this was as bad as it was going to be.
No answers about the assassination attempt. No proof of life.
So I looked it up using, what is this, travel math. And they say Las Vegas, Nevada to Delaware is 4 hours and 13 minutes.
It's like
So they cut about 20 to 30 minutes off the flight. But she said they were flying so fast, the plane shook.
Yeah. I don't think it's nothing to cut that much time off. I mean,
especially for such a big plane.
And I also think it's weird that they would rush him to Johns Hopkins. I know I made this point a little bit earlier, but like, don't presidents famously get treated at Walter Reed? Why is he going somewhere else? Is it just
Delaware?
Closer, maybe? No, it's in Maryland, Johns Hopkins.
Yeah. Security access. Maryland is one of the federal compound states, right? You've got Mount Weather. That's in Maryland, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Raven Rock, Mount Weather. That's all Maryland.
In Maryland.
Yeah. This is where they have the emergency resources. If you're in Vegas, how are you going to get federal resources? By DC, you've got everything.
Yep. That's right.
I think this is all a smoke screen saying all of this stuff because their lies were exposed during the debate. And honestly, this is a president of the United States. This is negligence. It is incompetence. And I can't believe that we have allowed this to happen.
I wonder, someone else projected too, I wonder if he had a stroke. Because he's
had some in the past.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so he walks down the stairs just to be like, got to keep it up.
I spoke to someone who works with dementia patients after the debate, and they said they thought he lost his voice from screaming, from dementia, not remembering, getting angry. And it wasn't like a cold.
I think that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And they said it was a cold. Nope. He's Is that what I read? We read this on the show actually, because Biden has these bursts of rage.
Yeah.
Remember when that guy approached him backstage, and then I can't remember what he said, but he snapped at him. And he's like, "What? Yeah.
He challenged the other guy to push-ups.
Yeah, or the guy that he yelled at about gun control.
Yep.
And they say that people with dementia get angry because it's like feeling that the word is on the tip of your tongue, but for everything. Yep. And so in your mind, you're thinking to yourself, "Why can't I say this? Why can't I do this?" And it's frustrating. Mm-hmm. So it's frustrating enough when someone's like, "What's that song about candy from the 60s?" And you're like, "Oh, no, I know it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Why can't I think of it? I was just talking about this." And it's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if you couldn't even say a sentence because every word you were looking for wasn't there. And to make it worse, imagine being 81, having lived nearly a century and witnessed all these historical events, and you can't think of the word what or if. You're like, your brain is just going, I don't know. And you're like, you get really angry and you yell at people. Ah!
Yep.
That's what I read.
I think that's what I've heard. I mean, that's what I've heard about people with dementia too. Like they are lost and therefore they become defensive or angry. There is some reporting that Joe Biden's going to be back in the White House tomorrow, according to his schedule. Remember, they had wiped his schedule, so we'll have to see if there is a video of him like landing and walking into the White House, or if they keep it pretty hidden. It's very hard to say what's going on with Biden right now, and I think that's almost intentional because, again, the DNC is trying to rapidly develop a narrative around Kamala. And if she knew that he was in terrible condition when she, allegedly talked to him about becoming the nominee, that he was going to drop out, because that was a story that, he had told his very close advisors, he had told Kamala, and then they gave the press corps 1 minute's notice before they released the statement. If she knew this whole time, that's going to sort of injure her campaign before it's even started.
She stayed quiet, and honestly, I feel bad for all of us because innocent American people are paying the price for their incompetence, for their negligence.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.